Hey everybody, this is Taylor with Royal Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the only Orvis endorsed outfitter and oldest fly shop and fly fishing guide service on the Arkansas River Basin. Thanks so much for viewing today. It's July 1st and we are officially in summer prime time on the Arkansas River Basin and many of our other watersheds in this Royal Gorge region area. A lot of fun out there right now, folks. These are really the days we look forward to when we're sitting at home in the winter time, you know, tying up bugs. You know, we think about this part of the season because we get to throw dry dropper and big dries, and you know, streamer fishing is exceptional, and really, you know, this is one of the most enjoyable times to be on any freestone river in Colorado, but especially the Arkansas River. We've got a lot of different bug activity out there right now, and that will only build through the month of July and into August. Currently, our major focal point flies are going to be in the stonefly, yellow Sally, PMD, and red quill categories, with also a lot of mixed in caddis and other sundry bugs out there. It's kind of a buffet line for trout, and that's the reason why they get into this feeding frenzy where they're very, very opportunistic. And we'll see fish, you know, act crazy out there. We'll see them come out of the water, you know, to take your fly. They'll you know, move 5 to 6 feet out of their feeding line to take a fly. You know, it's just really cool to experience. And like I said, you know, just really, really fun methods out there right now. A few things about conditions right now. The Arkansas River at the Wellsville gauge is kind of fluctuating between 800 and 900 CFS, right in that window. You know, about 150 CFS at the headwater near Leadville and Hayden Meadows stretch. And then, you know, around 600 at Granite and into that part of the river. So a lot of different water types to fish, whether you're fishing at the headwater, which is really kind of a small stream setting, or down in Bighorn Canyon, which is a much larger river, but very manageable in any of those sections to wade. Floating is great right now, obviously. You know, all of the fish are still on the edges and in low velocity shelters, so soft pockets, soft seams coming off faster water. And so that's where you need to look for fish. We will see fish begin to spread out as we move through the month of July and as flows come down into the 700 to 800 CFS window, which could happen pretty quickly here. We have had some really nice rains, which, you know, very thankful for that. We need all the precip we can get right now, which are, you know, contributing some native flows into the river. And in general, we've had great fishability. You know, you may see a small, short, off-color slug move through here and there, but always fishability on this river in you know, some section. And for the most part, the last 2 to 3 weeks, clarity has been exceptional from stem to stern. We should see that continue. You know, we'll see some storms come through, which we have to have. You know, those are great. Remember, clarity doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be gin clear. In fact, that's a negative thing in many aspects. Having a little bit of tint to the water is always a good thing. And fish will eat, you know, heavily in a foot of visibility, which is really poor conditions. So just keep that in mind as we roll through the monsoon season. Is, you know, clarity doesn't have to be perfect. Get out there, enjoy dry dropper, streamer fishing. you will have great number days out there this month if you're doing things correctly. We're going to take a look at some fly patterns here in a second, but just keep in mind that as we move through the month of July and August, your core windows of time to be on the water are early and late. Time periods where the light is lower, the air temp is cooler, the water temps are cooler. The middle of the day is a tough part of the day. Doesn't mean you can't drum up plenty of fish in the middle of the day. You know, nymphing can be very, very productive in that window of time. But if you're coming to dry dropper fish, single dry fish, streamer fish, you want the lower light. So just be aware that that's what you need to plan for. Most of our guide trips as we move through July and August will be half days, focusing on either morning, you know, early morning or in the evening. Both great options. And we do have some availability as we roll through the month of July. Getting pretty tight in most, you know, windows of time, but do have a few openings for both wades, floats, powerboat trips on Spinney and Taro, and the like. So let's take a look real quickly at some patterns. These are patterns that might be in our guides boxes for a day out on the water as we move through summer prime time on the Arkansas River, and these will be good for a long period of time. And I'm going to show you a lot of different bugs, right? A lot of different representations, but just remember, when we talk about these given bugs, we want to be prepared with the full life cycle. So if we're talking about stoneflies, yellow sallies, both in the stonefly category, we want the nymph and we want the adult. If we're, you know, talking about PMDs and red quills, we want the nymph, emerger, and adult. And then, of course, there's those other sundry, what we would term attractor dries, attractor nymphs, and confidence flies that really cover a lot of bases. We'll show you those as well. Let's take a peek. All right, folks, so let's take a look at this great looking fly board here. These are going to be red hot patterns for you as we move through summer prime time. July and August will all be great producers for you. We've got a wide range of patterns on this board, but I want to start on the left with kind of your lead nymph, attractor nymph category, moving into dropper nymphs, whether it be under a dry, moving then into attractor dry, stonefly, hopper stuff, and then your hatch matchers, and then finally ending with streamer category. So starting at the upper left here, we've got our 2-bit stone, which has been just an absolute primary fly for us, whether, you know, gold or dark, killer fly for us this spring. Will continue to be great in larger sizes, size 10 to 12, 2-bit stone. This is a brand new fly called Azertle Bug, and that is a cross between a girdle and a leech. This thing has been producing at an alarming rate for us here in the kind of post runoff window with a little bit of tinted water. It especially does well. So that's the Azertle. We've got just a tried and true Pat's rubber leg style fly, but here's the key. We love our Pat's rubber legs to be tied on jig hooks, less snags, better hookups on fish, stronger hooks. And then we've got that oversized slotted tungsten bead on all of ours. We love these, okay? We have various colors. Guide's Choice Hairs here, more of an attractor, but it covers so many bases for you, okay? Guide's Choice Hairs here, we carry those, and I carry them on me on the water in a size 12 through 18. Psycho Prints, just one of our great producers. This is the tungsten rubber leg version. That'll be a great producing attractor nymph for you. And then Sexy Waltz. This is a Euro nymphing style fly, kind of a hare's ear look, tied on a jig hook with that 3.5 bead. This is a killer, okay? Whether you throw it under a big dry or lead fly in an attractor nymph rig, that one will be great for you. So then moving into our dropper categories. So yellow sallies are going to technically be in that category, but you could use these as lead flies in a double nymph rig. This is your 2-bit sally, just like a 2-bit stone, except much smaller. Red tag sally, one of my favorites. We carry this in the standard hook. Like you see here, we also carry it in a jig version, which I love as well. This is a Spanish Perdigon in a 2-bit Sally version. This has been one of my key producers here over the course of the last 2 weeks. Just a fantastic durable fly, great dropper fly. Moving into the caddis category, so more kind of hatch matching specific caddis. You know, we've got our caddis larva here. That's a splat roller. We've got an emerger style. This is your nitro caddis. Both will be great producers, and there's so many different caddis out there right now. PMDs, we've got our magic fly PMD, which is a little bit slider profile. Tungsten bead nymph, great for a dropper. Double tungsten, this is Juan Slim Shady, double tungsten in the PMD. Red 2-bits, now into the red quill category. So that one's going to be a key producer for you really through the month of August into September. And then the shot glass in our brown color. This is one of my favorite red quill attractor nymphs. That's Shay Gunkel's pattern. Now moving into more attractor dries, and we love stoneflies and chubbies. You should have half a dozen colors of chubby in your box. This is a royal, but we you know, do very well with tan, with gold, with purple, black. Just have a variety of colors and sizes. So size 8 through 14 and even 16 in the stubby chubby. This is an Amy's Ant purple, great producer for us in purple, red, and black, and olive too. The Mass Hopper, this is a newer pattern. This has been a great producer for us so far in the season, and I expect that to be one of our #1 flies. Floats incredible. Charlie Craven's Morningwood Hopper in gold and in olive, like you see here. Then into the hatch matching adult category, Pint Caddis. This is a tan caddis here. I love this pattern in both tan and black. There are a lot of different colored caddis out there and sizes, size 16 and 18 primarily. This is a Rocky Mountain Mint Pale Morning Dun adult. So really be focused on your PMD adults, especially on cloudy days. There are a ton of them out there. Greg Garcia's Mini Hot PMD, that one's a core fly for us. Profile Spinner, that's your red quill, more of an adult spinner crossover for that red quill. And again, remember, spinner falls happen in the evenings or in the early morning, low light. This is a Crystal Wing spinner here. Okay, that'll be a great producer, and these will both be great even as we move into the month of September. Okay. All right, and then our streamer category. So all depends on the rod you're throwing and the line setup and everything, but I am not afraid to throw a full-size Dungeon out there. That fly is 4+ inches long. Fish react to it like crazy, but it's all about how you can control the fly. So if that's a little bit too big, size down to a mini Dungeon. Purple, black, olive, key colors. We've got our Baby Ganga in olive. That's a key producer for me. Swim Coach olive. That's Charlie Craven's pattern as well. And then 2 dropper options if you want to run a tandem fly rig on your streamers. Takahashi's Mini Minnow. I like this in this color. I also like the rainbow color. And then a Thin Mint, which is just a tried and true little guy. You can even fish this on its own and catch a lot of fish. So, okay, folks, that's our fly board for summer prime time. And these are all going to be core flies for the next several months. Alrighty, folks, so I hope taking a look at some sample patterns here for this summer prime time window was helpful to you. All of those patterns that I've showed you are available on our website at royalgorgeanglers.com under feature flies, and we have nearly 1,000 different patterns here at the fly shop. So swing by and peruse, and obviously you can take a peek online, and we do 1-day shipping to the metro area, 2-day to most other locations. So if you're preparing for a trip and would like to pick up some sample patterns, whether you're going to tie or if you want to pick up, you know, a good solid handful of each, happy to do that for you. We, you know, do that every day, slinging a lot of fly orders out every day. So, and again, if you have any questions on any of this stuff, you know, just let us know. Just kind of recap on rigging real quickly now that we've looked at patterns. Dry dropper fishing is very specific based on conditions. We want lower light for really productive dry dropper fishing. However, if the light is higher, we can extend that dropper length. Typically on an average dropper, you know, length with a little overcast or low light, I'm going pretty short, maybe 20 inches. But you can do, you know, a longer drop when the sun's higher, maybe 30 inches. You could do a, you know, copper dropper, dry copper dropper with 2 nymphs underneath, if that dry is large enough to support 2 nymphs, to get down in the water column. Still having fun with that dry fly up top, and, you know, even in the middle of the day, on the brightest day, you will get fish hammer that dry fly randomly. So having a dry on at all times is great. You can, of course, nymph fish with an indicator, but I tend to err on the side of a big chubby, you know, and then 2 nymphs underneath if I want to do a dry copper dropper rig. When we're streamer fishing, typically we want some type of sink tip. I'm running about a 250 grain, you know, 20 to 30 foot tip on my 6 weights right now. That's my primary kind of streamer setup. And then off that sink tip, I'm going a max of 5 feet. I'll take an old leader. I'll do a full fluorocarbon leader. And then I just want to make sure that our, you know, connection to the fly is 2x or 3x fluorocarbon. So when we're streamer fishing, that's going to be kind of the optimal tippet diameter at the connection to the fly. Then if we want to do tandem rigs, 2 streamers, we can do larger fly up front, and then a short drop, 10 to 12 inches to our trailer, okay? And then nymph fishing, whatever you like, right? We have a lot of Euro nymphers out there. We have a lot of indicator nymphers, you know, whatever you call yourself, you know, get out there and have fun with the nymphing component as well. There's a lot of different ways to rig, you know, a double, triple nymph rig. Of course, our simplified Western nymphing, you know, model is indicator twice the water depth to the first fly, maybe a split shot above the first fly as needed based on the velocity, and then a trailer underneath at about 18 to 20 inches for that dropper fly. Hopefully that's helpful information for you. Again, reminder, fish will be in areas of least resistance, low velocity shelters, even when the flows come down to about the 700 level, which we should have that kind of water, that kind of flow rate until about August 15, hopefully, because of our flow management program on the Arkansas. That will be ideal. It may drop underneath that by August 1st. It just all depends on what kind of rain we get. So we're hopeful to get some rain here and there. And again, don't be afraid of tinted water as we move through July and August. Fish continue to eat. they can see the fly, and even off color conditions. We love to look at that gin clear water, but sometimes that makes things more difficult. Let us know on any questions you may have. Toll free 888-994-6743, extension 1 for the fly shop, extension 2 for the guide office. Take a trip with one of our fantastic guides. We've got so many options. We guide on the Gunnison. We guide, of course, on our main bread and butter river, the Arkansas River, the Freestone, the Tailwater section, both the South Platte. We have some great powerboat guides, both fly and conventional spin guides on Spinney and Antero. We guide great backcountry trips. We have a number of very exclusive permits in this area for small water hike-in stuff. We do overnight trips, you name it. So give us a shout if you're interested in doing that. You know, more than anything, I really hope you enjoy this upcoming season, July and into August. It is going to be so much fun on the Arkansas River Basin and our surrounding drainages in the Royal Gorge region. Swing by the fly shop, say hello. We hope to see you on the water as well. Have a great day and be safe out there.